gold into this country, and that ended with placards at the ministry to chase bonuses. That went by. We are here. In 2024, we had to play that last game against Zambia to be able to get into the Olympics. Distraction, less than 24 hours, just this way. And we lost that game. The girls lost concentration, still asking for bonuses, and we're told their monies have been deposited into their account. It will mature later, whatever happened. All this fracas again, we couldn't get it. Here we are, 2025. We are getting into another qualifier, the last lap at home, just to be able to get back to the African continent. And the sad thing about it is, this next WAFCON is not just an ordinary WAFCON. It is a WAFCON that could propel us into World Cup. I'm not saying that by magic they will get there, but however, if you are not there, how will you know whether you'll be able to be in the last four to get into the World Cup? And then we are here talking about unpaid bonuses from 3 months ago. You know, I always said that this year didn't start well. A lot of people didn't think good things will come the way of Black Queens. And I feel that now it's safe to say that a lot of people, including our sports ministry, unfortunately, even thought the girls would not make it out of the group stage. Because literally, I didn't see anybody around the team in Morocco. I decided not to talk about some of these things. I didn't see anybody around the team in Morocco until we made it out of the group stage. Granted, maybe they had seen them through before the group stage, but that is unheard of from any other team. It was the GFA president, Ketan Simon, who was with the team until reps from the ministry showed up. Not to hold me for anything, but the GFA also knows their part, and they did what they could to help the girls, talking to them, making sure that they kept their focus. Because even there, they were still talking about monies that were unpaid. It was after the group stages that they showed up and started making payments. Let's not talk about that. Fast forward, we've won, bronze medal. That is a bronze medal. However it is, they risked their lives, stayed away from their club side, their families. Yes, they might not have gotten the result in quantified in monies or whatever. But the minute you tell somebody that I am going to give you this, and you and I, it will keep ringing in your head, hoping that you get it. 3 months have passed. And remember, if you play this game tomorrow and these ladies leave, they know the next time they will regroup will be somewhere around March. If they should qualify, beat Egypt and qualify, we are regrouping around February, March for the next tournament. And from the history that we have had, it will drag, and if you don't take it, they will not get it. So they say, give us money before we head into the game tomorrow, so that we go back home to our parents, to our families, at least those who know that we are working and we are due something, at least to take care of our families as well. Nathan, do you know the number of mothers that have gone to say, oh, you give me this food stamp, my daughter is working, she'll come and pay. Oh, my son my daughter is coming, oh, give me this medicine, I will definitely pay. Sometimes some of these small things, the girls will not be able to tell you, but believe it or not, some of them are breadwinners.
And lots of them actually.
To be safe, that's what I'm saying. Some of them are breadwinners and have families and younger siblings looking up to them. I'm not saying that this is the only monies they make, but at least it goes a long way to help them. But if you work for this, and even it's one cedi, I always say they are worth it. They work for it. Nobody is going to compare them to any other team. But whatever you do for any other team, that is not our problem. But the minute you accept that you are going to do women's football and then carry the senior women's national team and hoist the flag and show up when they do well, then pay them their monies as well. And for me, I have literally not spoken about this for a very long time. I have been in the know for a very long time. I was hoping that things will get better. That this morning I'll come back here and say that, oh, the Queens are going to have their last training sessions, and then we're able to push this thing aside. Because on the low, but for some pictures that were released, the GFA president and Tony Bafu went there, spoke to the girls as much as they can. They also told them in their own light that they know they gave them a deadline for the monies to be paid, and it has elapsed. So please, let's just hold on. After the qualifier, we'll think about it. But then yesterday night, I was waking up around 11 thereabout, and the next thing I heard really broke me down. Okay. That there was a meeting between the captains, that's the leadership of the team, and then our honorable sports minister. And the ladies were asking that, okay, we are old, so when will we get this money? And the next thing they hear is they will be paid, and that if they are not ready, they can pack their bags and go home.
Okay, Abigail, if
how?
Okay, so hold on.
Let me land.
Okay.
Let me land. If they can't, they can pack their bags and go home. And worst case scenario, Ghana will be banned for 2 years. After 2 years, there'll be a new generation that will take over. No.
Okay, so allegedly that's what.
Oh, I am not alleging. No.
So you are saying this?
It is not. This is what I'm telling you is not news. It was news somewhere 11:30 last night, but it's no more news. Check social media. I'm not the only one that have this information.
Okay.
And it was a meeting that unfortunately the minister stormed off after saying this. No. If you're in a house with your children or your nieces or your nephews or little children and there's something that has happened, come on. Women, what? Say it nicely. Oh, your money, we will pay this morning. No, by the time you get to the pit tomorrow, you should be getting, just say something. But to go that tangent, Nathan, I'm sorry, but if you are not ready to do men's football, let's just stop. And let us know that when these girls play for their club sides and they get contracts abroad, that is the only money they will earn for themselves. And if they want to continue with the game, they will continue. Because if we call them to the national teams and be treated this way, it's sad. As we sit now, U20 Black Princesses, they also have not been paid. But they've started playing qualifiers for World Cup. Why? Why is it always about the women's national team? That's my problem. Why is it always about the women's national team? Why do we tend to turn a deaf ear when it is the women? But when it's the men, wherever we get the money, we want to. So that means we are not ready to do it. Then let's just stop. Because if you are telling us that the worst thing is we can be banned, they're also saying that they are ready to sacrifice for the next generation. So they give them their money, they'll go home. After the ban, the other generation that will come, hoping that it won't happen. Because that's what we keep telling ourselves.
Sporty.
I remember very well one of the interviews I had with an honorable minister in Morocco. I told him, I cited this example that I have seen years that we've had to march to the ministry with placards. And I really wish we don't have to get there. He promised me that it won't happen. We won't have to get there because as I was speaking with him at that time, they were making sure that the girls' names and their bank accounts correspond with everything they also have. So that if they have to make payment, it goes swiftly. So what really happened along the line? 3 months in, no. We are here, and the FA has told us that there are times they have to step in and pay coaches that take up jobs with our women's national team. But we've never had something when it comes to the men. I'm not saying we want parity, but at least a little that is due.
Yeah,
I'll say it little because the monies they are asking for is nothing when it gets to the other side. It is literally nothing when it gets to the other side. I am sad than disappointed. Seriously, I'm not getting at anybody, but it's sad that every other time we have to go this tangent after every tournament. Here we came with a medal. Not that we went there and we just came back after the group stage or anything. We came with a medal to show for it. Yeah. But it is just unfair. The last meeting was the worst of all the negotiations, unfortunately. And it has broken everything down. So are we expecting the girls to go out and train today and play that game tomorrow? What happens to us? If they decide that, okay, we'll show up on the pitch and not play, who are we going to blame? Yes, people ask questions that who loses? In the interim, you are both losing, but they'll get back to their club side and try to keep up with the little they have. You don't leave all of that. Some of them have to make some sacrifices along the way. They might not tell you. But they leave all of that, come back, go back and have to fight for places in their teams. Some of these things, they won't come and tell you. So sometimes when they are this way, you will not understand. And the burdens at home that have been put on them just because they wear the national jersey, you have no idea. So that little, I mean, I don't have that kind of money, but in their football world, it is peanuts. So seriously, Nathan, today is either we are doing women's football or not, because this thing has to stop. It can't be going on. Here we are with new faces that we've robed into our team, trying to make them feel comfortable, and they come back home to have their first home game in front of the Ghanaian fans, and this is how we want to do it. It is wrong. It is just wrong. On any face of it, it is just wrong.
The voice of sport.
Wow, this is not cool. This is not cool at all. We'll see if we can try and find out from the ministry's perspective what exactly is going on and what the plan is to resolve this matter. But joining me on the line is Mr. Problem himself, Raymond Yamado. People have been asking where Raymond is. Raymond Yamado is around. Ray, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good. How are you too?
Charlie, we're there inside. We miss you a lot. You are hiding somewhere.
I miss you too. I miss everybody. I miss the listeners. I miss the production team. Himwater has been on my case since last night.
But Ray, I'm sure you were listening to Abigail. I'm sure you are very apprised in terms of everything that's happened with the Queens. What do you make of this very, very shocking development? A few hours or after playing that first leg, between winning 3-0 and Tuesday, this is where we are. They are going back and forth over unpaid monies due them since the WAFCON.
Well, Nathan, let me say good morning to our listeners once again, and good morning to everybody listening to SportyFM right now. Nathan, you know, if there has been anybody who's championed payment of bonuses, payment of outstanding debts to any national team, I have been one of the key advocates when it comes to dealing with that. Mm-hmm. Even when the Queens were at the tournament, Nathan, you'd remember that I kept chasing the finance ministry to approve, or government to approve the budget for finance ministry to disperse same to the sports ministry for onward transfer to the girls in Morocco. Nathan, you remember?
I remember.
These discussions did not start today. But before I continue, let me deal with one issue. Senna was not in the meeting with the girls and the sports minister. Everything she's reporting is from the third party, hearsay. From my checks, I have also heard that the minister did not see the girls can pack and leave camp.
Okay.
From my checks, the minister did not see the girls can pack and leave camp. So I've seen that being circulated online, and I tried to also do my checks. The minister did not say that. And so that is one side of it. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Now, Nathan, let's deal with the issues. I have always said that when it's time for budgets for national teams to be approved, the budgets always go through a process. Mm-hmm. The budgets will be sent from the FA to the sports ministry. In fact, those estimates will be sent from the FA to the ministry, from the ministry to the seat of government. The seat of government will now approve those estimates and now goes back to the finance ministry through the Bank of Ghana before monies are released to the sports ministry for payment. That has been the process. So now this is it. When the girls were at the tournament in Morocco, Nathan, you remember I kept saying, finance minister should make sure the monies go. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, the girls were going to, at a point, decide not to play. Indeed, those monies were staggered. Those payments were staggered based on how the girls progressed in the tournament. Okay. So the initial budget was for the girls to see out the group phase. After the group phase, progressing to the quarterfinals, the estimate to be raised. Progressing to the semifinals, estimate to be raised. Progressing to the finals, another estimate to be raised. When the girls qualified to the next stage of the competition, the bonus that was due them per game was $1,500 US. $1,500 US per game. The girls won one game, lost one game, and drew one game. In all, the girls were supposed to have been paid $1,500 for progressing to the next stage of the competition. But my sources informed me that the girls were holding out for the full 4,500 USD that was supposed to be for qualification to the next stage, having won all 3 games. It became a bone of contention, back and forth, back and forth. The Honorable Minister then agreed, said, fine, we are going to pay you $4,500. And so the minister found his way to come back to Ghana, sort out issues with regards to these payments. And then it was agreed that they were going to be paid $4,500. But Nathan, if you remember, same tournament, there was the issue of money. And I told you the FA had to deal with a lot of the payments prior to the sports ministry getting money to take care of some of the financial bits they had to deal with. Nathan, I hope you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the minister got approval for the group stage, but when he got into town, there were lots of per diem that had to be honored right from pre-tournament camping. So again, a lot of those monies that the minister brought to come and deal with a lot of the outstandings in terms of bonuses had to go into the payment of the per diems from the pre-tournament right into the tournament itself. Okay, a lot of those monies were paid. And so what was owed before had to be taken care of, and then you defer payment of whatever you have to pay them until you get clearance for the other stages the girls were going to get to. That was what happened in that tournament. So Nathan, after the tournament, we all know the girls got to the semi-finals and won bronze. All of the payments that were due them in terms of per diems, in terms of, some of the monies that they were supposed to receive and all, most of those payments were dealt with. Leaving them with the bonuses that were supposed to be paid them. Now, when they came back, the minister, of course, promised them that once government released the money, they were going to be paid. Nathan, do you know that at that tournament, the girls were insisting that they should be paid, Even some of them were paid, and they even lost their money. The minister went to the extent of even reimbursing some of the girls. Senna was there. Senna can confirm the story. The girls were insisting they should be paid. They said, wait. They insisted. They gave them the money. Most of them had their money stolen. Now the minister had to reimburse some of them. So, in terms of the ministry's response in tournament, it shouldn't be seen as if the ministry, by what I heard, left the girls idle and didn't take care of them or didn't take care of what needed to be taken care of. The ministry did well to make sure, whilst the tournament was ongoing, what was due them in terms of per diems and all was taken care of. Now the elephant in the room is the bonus. Nathan, you remember, again, from my checks, between the girls' bronze coming to Ghana, getting all the support they got, and I think that for the first time, we celebrated the Black Queens more than any other time. They went to parliament, they were giving monies there, they went to see the president, there was a dinner held for them. For the first time, we celebrated bronze. On the women's front, it was remarkable. Everybody was excited. But Nathan, between then and now, a lot of things have happened. This same government that has to pay the outstanding bonuses of these girls had to again preside over 4 qualification series matches for the Black Stars as far as the World Cup is concerned. Nathan, do you know today, as we speak, if the Black Stars were called in to come to play a competitive game, the Black Stars could do what the girls are doing. Because the Black Stars are also owed money. The Black Stars players, the Black Stars technical team, the Black Stars coaching team, they also owed money. So it's a problem that doesn't sit at the sports ministry. It's a problem that sits with government. And Nathan, how many times haven't I said this? I have always questioned government's commitment to sports. government's willingness to release money for sports development and other matters. Indeed, government will claim that they have been very supportive. Yes, the Black Stars have had to charter flights to go and play matches and back. Indeed, the sports ministry, through government, had to raise funds for the Black Stars to go and play these matches. The Black Stars had to be paid per diems. All of those things were taken care of. In the process, we had World Athletics Championships. The team had to be taken care of by government to go and participate in a competition in Japan. There were issues with the Black Maidens also playing matches, issues with the Starlets playing matches. All of these things sit with government. So everything now becomes a process. They have to release funds for assignment A, government will have to release funds for assignment B, government will have to release funds for assignment C. At all times, when government releases the funds, those Black Stars budget you hear, later when you hear $1.1 million or $2.5 million, those monies are not released by government upfront. Again, the sports ministry will now be saddled with debts. The sports ministry will now have to be chasing for funds from government before those funds are released. And that's why I came on air one day and I said, look, if the Honorable Finance Minister is not ready to release money for sports, then let's stop competing in some of these events. Because we would always come back to this. I don't want this to be about the Black Queens. And I don't want us to single out the Black Queens. Nathan, the issue of money not being available for sports development or adequate funds being made available for our national teams has been a challenge since. It is now that we are beginning to find out how we can fill that gap, how we can block that gap. Because the issue of sports funding has been there since. Nathan, you remember, when this government took over, the first thing they did was to pay coaches as far back as 2020. CK Akuno and the likes were owed money. Nathan, true or false?
Yeah, that's true.
As much as 10 million Ghana cedis was spent on that. And you ask yourself, how come we accumulated debt for so long and had to now honor it just this year? So all of these things go to speak to the bigger picture that I've been painting. Now look, we do not have enough money when it comes to the sports ministry and the sports ministry taking care of some of these things. Later, we would have been having this discussion this morning. If indeed there was enough money in the pool for Black Stars to be taken care of, Black Stars technical team members to be taken care of, Black Queens to be taken care of, Black Queens technical team members to be taken care of, we'll be having this discussion at all. But we have a situation where a lot of federations, a lot of national teams would all go to the sports ministry for money. Money the sports ministry doesn't have. The sports ministry will now have to go back to government and go and look for the money to take care of all of these things. And that's why I'm saying that, look, I don't want this thing to be about the women. It's across board. The Black Stars are owed money today. The Black Queens are owed money today. So the discussion has been the sports fund being the panacea to all of these challenges. Indeed, if the girls are owed money, they have to be paid. And I'm told they are owed about $9,500 per head.
Okay.
From what I know, Nathan, if I show you or if I list the outstandings from as far back as Madagascar when the Black Stars played, Madagascar here, Nathan, or in Morocco when they played Madagascar, Nathan, as far back as Madagascar, the Black Stars are owed money till date. It's a challenge that we should be looking at fixing. It's not about the sports minister. Because really, Nathan, if it's a sports minister, he would only give out what he's giving. Right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
The sports minister can push for the funds to be released.
But, okay.
And, I mean, he would push for the funds to be released. But the person who holds the purse will release the money when he has the money, which is government, to the finance ministry, to the Bank of Ghana, to the sports ministry. So later, in that meeting, if the sports minister is not able to give you definite timelines as to when you receive your money, it doesn't mean that he's not ready to pay the money.
Okay.
Of course, but he would also be waiting for the funds to be released to his ministry for what's transferred. That's how it is done.
Ray, but we have a qualifier to play
the voice of sport.
tomorrow. And of course, you do say that it is true that the Queens are owed $9,500 per head. So this is where we
Absolutely.
are. No problem. So how do you think we can at least try and sort this thing out? Because there is a qualifier at hand. There's a qualifier to be played on Tuesday. What do you think can be done to diffuse the situation so that that game is played, and while it is being played, we try to resolve this issue? Because right now, from all the things, from all indications, there's a bit of worry, maybe a bit of mistrust on the side of the Queens, because their fear is that once this game is honored, they are not congregating as a team until sometime next year when they have to get ready for the WAFCON, and they are afraid that they might get forgotten and they might not be paid.
You see, Nathan, this issue of trust has always been there. This issue of not trusting that your money should be paid has always been there. And Senna rightly said, yes, there were times they had to picket at the sports ministry with placards and all of those things have happened before. So obviously, the girls would have reason to be a bit suspicious. But I think that the girls should be confident that these payments would come, or especially on the back of what happened in Morocco. How what was due them in terms of per diems and all was taken care of. So, Nathan, the discussion now should be the money will come. As to when the money will come, there are no immediate guarantees. But based on, I want to believe, the relationship between the girls themselves and the sports ministry and what they've seen them do for them whilst they were in Morocco, I would have thought that they would take the word of the ministry, take the word of the minister, and actually believe that indeed this money should be paid. And listen, if people were owed as far back as 2020 and were paid only in 2025, the Black Stars owed monies. One way or the other, these payments have been disbursed gradually. I think that once some of the big expenses are out of the way, the girls will receive their money. And that's why I'm saying that a lot of these things will boil down to who is motivating the Queens, or who is behind the Queens, and who is pushing them to hold this line. Because Nathan, they've played the first leg. Second leg, really, would be a formality. They would progress to the AFCON. Again, if these monies are not paid and the girls progress to the AFCON, these are still outstandings that they would have to be paid before that tournament. So when government owes you, whichever way, they will pay. So let us go and play this game. When we are done, we'll sort out all this instead. And I dare say that if the Black Stars are to play a competitive match next week or next 2 weeks, we'll see the same thing play out. Because these boys would also say, okay, fine, give us our money before we go and play the game. But we are saying that, look, all of these things, there's a source. All of these things, there's a common problem coming from one source. So, Nathan, this is a matter of negotiation. The girls would have to understand that if the money is not available today, they may not be paid today. If the money is made available today, they'll be paid today. In some of these discussions, there isn't too much you can do until the person who is holding the purse releases the money. That's the difficulty with some of these negotiations. And so you can only trust, you can only believe that the person who owes you is going to honor the payment once he receives the funds. Nathan, it's a very difficult matter. And I feel sad for the girls too. But you see, Nathan, the girls would look at the bigger picture. They should look at the bigger picture. When they go to the AFCON, it is them. When they qualify for the World Cup, it is them. I saw a lot of the players move around club sites after the WAFCON. It was the WAFCON that gave them the opportunity to get into to get into some of these clubs they've joined. And I want to believe that if they are looking at their careers, they are looking at what they get from the national team, they should just look at that bigger picture and say, well, with or without money, let us go and play. If we qualify for the WAFCON, it is us. If we again qualify for the World Cup, again it is us. We would benefit from showcasing our talents outside for everybody to see. So why don't you just, shield these money matters, go and play the games, qualify first, and then we'll see what happens. I think that, Nathan, once these discussions reach that level, I want to believe that the girls will be sorted out. But Nathan, this is not supposed to say I'm being defensive or I'm holding brief for anybody. Look, Nathan, I have sat on that countless occasions and spoken about how the sports ministry is underfunded. And if sports is really the priority of this government, the sports ministry should be getting better. Later, I've had this discussion, and this is where we are today. So maybe, aside the sports fund discussion, maybe government should again come and tell us, government should convince us that indeed they are going to make a lot of money available to the sports ministry to take care of some of these things. And until then, we would revisit this matter again, possibly even before the Black Stars play their friendlies against Japan and South Korea. We may possibly be there again. And so that's what I'm saying. Let's not make it about the girls. If we want the problem to be solved, it is not just about the Black Queens. It cuts across board. Nathan, do you know that the under-20s that played in Egypt, there are still some outstandings that government would have to sort out?
That's true.
Absolutely. And I'm saying that, look, let us go back to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his government and ask him if he's really interested in making sure there's peace in the sports space. Until then, later, the Black Stars will complain, the Black Queens will complain, the Satellites will complain, the Starlets will complain, athletics will complain, hockey will complain, tennis will complain, badminton will complain, all of them will complain. This is my position on this matter. And I think that in as much as we want to crucify the sports ministry, let us be minded that when payments are made, the narrative is that the sports ministry on behalf of government has disbursed XYZ amount of money to this. The money has to come from government. And until government releases these funds, the girls must understand that there are processes. It's been 3 months. Later, people have been owed since 2020. They were only paid after 5 years. I mean, it's not the best of situations, but this is where we find ourselves in our quest to develop sports in this nation. It's a challenge. It's a big challenge. So it's not as if there's a deliberate attempt not to pay the girls, but there's always a conscious effort to deal with the Black Stars. Later, when it comes to charter flight issues with the Stars, if you don't charter the flight for the Stars, they don't get to go and play in Morocco. They don't get to return in time to come and play their next game. Some of these expenses, you can't run away from them. So it's not as if priority is given to the Stars and the girls are left. The Stars themselves have outstanding bonuses they have to take.
Okay.
But it's all about how we manage the issues. And I'm expecting that by close of day today, maybe the minister would have meetings with them and give them further assurances that the money should be paid and they'll receive their money when it is paid. I want to believe so.
Okay, all right, Ray. I mean, thank you for. I mean, that's an interesting perspective. That qualifier will be played tomorrow, Abigail. So we are here at 8 minutes after 8. This is the situation now. How do you think this situation should be handled?
Yes,
because that qualifier will have to be played tomorrow. If Ghana doesn't honor that qualifier, it has a domino effect on a lot of things. But yeah, how do you think this situation should be handled?
Nathan, first of all, I do appreciate Raymond's point as well. But to say, I was saying that based on hearsay, unfortunately, as much as he's done his checks, I have also done mine. And like I mentioned earlier, I have followed this, but I decided not to talk about it, hoping that by today it will be something else. We'll just have to walk into training and get ready for tomorrow. So I really know what I'm talking about, and it's not based on hearsay or what the bloggers put out there. I had a window of that before whoever puts whatever the information was out there, but like I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to keep quiet. Nobody's saying boycotting is the best option, but I think that it has gotten to a point that they feel that if nothing is done, it will just continue. Coincidentally, on just by the end of the work of God, Portia Bachi was part of that 2016 team that saw themselves go through this. That almost did not play the third place game in the 2016 WAFCON. And so clearly she will sit back and she will reminisce and think about things that have happened that time past. She was young, but clearly to come years after that and she's still towing the same line. Alice Kusi was also there. So clearly these senior players will think back and know that if something is not done drastically, some of these things will not happen. And nobody is putting the blame at the doorstep of the ministry alone, because we all know the ministry does not produce any form of money. They get money from the government, granted. But we are talking about how we go about it. Yes, maybe in the eyes of the ministry and the leadership, the girls boycotting was not the best. But how would they get the ears of leadership to hear them? Maybe that was the only thing they could have done. But you stepping in to salvage it, how did you also go about it? Now we are talking about what the minister said, away from whatever the girls have to do and get prepared for the game. If we had gone in with a better solution, I don't think this thing would have even come out to get to this point. For some of us, that is where we want to pick it up from. Is the way we want to treat other national teams that has to be addressed. I don't think some of this conversation will go on in other quarters. They are old and they are not complaining because of how it was. They went about it.
SportyFM, the voice of sport.
I'm not sure that if these girls were told something better or different, we'll be talking about whatever transpired in the meeting. And hitherto, they've had meetings with other people that nobody even heard about. There's been other meetings, but for pictures we also wouldn't have known they had meetings with other people before the minister. So it is how we are going about it that should be addressed. If you owe me and you come to me and say, "Oh, Charlie, this is it. Look at what I have. I beg you, give me up to next week. At least I should be reasonable." I've come and tell me, "Oh, leave me alone. I'm owing you," and so what? You also push me to do something or say something else. So I think it is the communication that has gone wrong. But how did we even prepare for the totality of the tournament? Did we prepare for them to just get to the group stage? Did we think that they could get to the final? How did we present a budget for this? I mean, those are the questions I want to answer. Because if we had prepared at least the end of the tournament, we will know that some of these things will come up along the way, and we could have helped to get it. And not after 3 months after the whole tournament. So no one is saying it is wrong for government to owe you. But if you're owing someone and you don't go about it the right way, it also gets the person into a different mood altogether. And that is the problem we have here. And unfortunately, he's a sports minister who is leading the ministry. So clearly, he'll be the one that has to face it. Nobody is after him or his work or his ministry. But it is one too many. And the unfortunate thing is, it is always with the women's national team. That's the problem.
So I get it. So the incidents, they tend to happen a bit more.
How many times have we owed the Black Stars? Now that it has been mentioned, you see in all of my submission, I never mentioned Black Stars because that comparison, me myself, I don't like it. There's no way we can be at par with them. It won't happen.
Yeah.
But the little the girls deserve, that one day we would always stand for it. I'm not comparing them to anybody. But how many times have we owed the Black Stars? And how quick have we gone about it to get it resolved? So are you telling me that we will not get them paid before they come for that friendly in November? We'll find money and do it.
All right, 8:13. This is still the Sporty breakfast. We are trying to see if we can get a response from the ministry to try and get an understanding as to how this will be solved, because there is a qualifier to be played. There is a qualifier to be played tomorrow. Ray is still on the line. Ray, you want to say something?
Nathan.
Yes.
I again would want to say that, look, this issue of the girls, as unfortunate as it is, I think that it calls for a lot of talk, a broader discussion around sports funding.
Yeah.
A broader discussion. Because it's always about money. It's always about federations starving or federations not getting what is due them when it comes to dealing with some of the sport disciplines in front. It's happened with boxing, it's happened with hockey, it's happened with athletics. It's across board. Now the issue of the girls has come up. Let us ask government once again,
SportyFM, the voice of sport.
what government's intention about sports is. Are we still going to continue the way we are on, having to rely on the consolidated fund to fund national teams? Are we still going to continue running that model? How sustainable is it? Nathan, it is clear that it is not sustainable.
Okay.
Because if government is not ready, or government doesn't release the funds on time, especially when you have a lot of things happening around the same time, of course, government would argue that they have to deal with roads, they have to deal with health, they have to deal with education and all that. That would be the argument of government, okay? But if we are going forward with the sports fund, maybe it's late in the day, but it's better late than never. Let's have these conversations properly, devoid of any personal interest or emotions, and realize that, look, there's the issue of funding when it comes to our national teams. And it is not an out-of-pocket expense from anybody. It is an expense government has to pay. If government is not ready, let's ask government. You see, the pressure should be on government, because they made promises prior to coming into office, how they intend to fix sports, reset sports. And unfortunately, this is not the way to go. So, if the sports fund is the panacea, it must happen now for us to see how well pressure could be taken off the government's resources.
Okay.
So that we will not have these issues play out again. Okay. It's unfortunate. The girls should comfortably be training to go and play a match tomorrow. But we are having this discussion. It doesn't help. And so maybe this is the watershed moment. This is where government now realizes that, look, they have to prioritize sports more. And that has been my story. That has been my cry. Prioritize sports, put more money in sports, let the sports ministry get enough money to be able to deal with some of these things. And then everybody will be fine.
Okay, Ray, thank you for that.
That's one.
8:17. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send in your comment 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061.
Fagitatu, oh no basic wait. No more details. They no ni moko keke can do. The problems.
We are still trying to see if we can get a response from the ministry to find out what the way forward is. Because look, it's a very, very serious issue. All the dimensions or all the points that everybody has raised, all those points are important. Abigail's point about the repeated episodes with the various women's national teams, and it's you can call it if one is one of those things. It's not a one-off. The episodes are repeated and repeated and repeated. Ray seems to think that there is a broader issue at the base, which is funding. We need to find money, or else we'll go around and do this dance every now and again.
The problem.
All right, let me still go back to the line. Our team lead Gary Smith is joining us. Let me get his thoughts on this. Gary, good morning. How are you doing?
This is
Good morning.
the voice of sport.
Yeah,
I'm fine, thank you.
wonderful. I'm sure you've been following the conversations. I don't know what your perspective is, what you make of all of this that's happening. 24 hours or so to a WAFCON qualifier, and we are dealing with bonuses, unpaid monies, training boycotts, a very complicated scenario ahead of a very important game against Egypt tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's refreshing to hear, two members on the same team with different perspectives or to the same issue. Especially when both have made checks, from their respective sources in the camp and so on, and come up with
SportyFM.
a story, if you like, that gives balance to what is currently trending. And so Abigail, like I've seen on many portals since late last night till this morning, with one side of the story. Raymond also prepared his checks with another side of the story. I think that I will be somewhere in the middle with my personal experience of covering the Black Queens this year. This year, I have been closer to the Black Queens than I have ever been, because of the work we have done. We've had to do with women's football, with the Women's FA Cup, the double header that we did.
Yes.
And going close to some of the management of generally women's football in the country, and then being privileged to be at the WAFCON, through the Puma sponsorship and all that, and seeing them go all the way. Then they coming back, the work we did with them. For those who don't know, it was through SportyFM's initiative, we've not said it, that they actually went to see some corporate institutions that appreciated them afterward. I saw the monies that, or the support that was given to some of them, as compared to even what the Black Stars get audience-wise, is chicken change. But I saw what it means to them, which goes to back the point Abigail is making. Look, the amounts that the Black Queens have become used to is nothing at all compared to what we are able to do for certain other, sporting teams or Black Stars, or I don't even want to say Black Stars, but other sporting teams.
Yeah.
And so all I want to let people understand, and perhaps, and I know that the decision makers are watching, is that it's very simple. My thing when I heard this was that I was there in 2015. I don't know if Abigail is in the studio.
Yeah, Abigail is
I was
here.
in the Joy FM studio when they came from M Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
Nathan, they had won fresh. They had won the title fresh. They were supposed to come to a homecoming of Thanksgiving and celebration and jubilation. Instead, they came home to the earth-shattering, to the soul-crushing news that they can't be paid, and they were going home empty-handed. And they said, if this is going to happen, they were going to picket. I remember that was the time the word picket started becoming a thing in the Ghanaian media. That somebody was picketing at the ministry, nurses are picketing, teachers are picketing, and so on. And they said, and that's the headline we used at the time, that the Black Queens are picketing at the sports ministry because they were at their hotel was at the M Plaza, and we had Joy money to get them on an exclusive at on the Joy Sports Link at the time on a Saturday. So they came into the studio. What's the name of this lady who is from Takrady? She likes dreadlocks. Linda Shen. She was the ringleader at the time. Nathan, it was not a joking matter. Then it was, the third infancy.
Yeah.
English small, third infancy small. Charlie, Kofi Kinata English, no be small.
SportyFM.
But the point I'm trying to make is, Nathan, I am saying that at least in the last 10 years, and I'm happy Abigail says a decade, because if this will never happen to the Black Stars, Nathan, period. Okay, so I understand what Raymond is saying. I get it. When I made the calls to the sports ministry, Charlie, it is the what do they call? The finance ministry who has not released. Nathan, there's no lie. There is no lie. The sports ministry, they sent the budget that the GFA had given to them in time to the finance ministry. But the point of the matter is that the people who are aggrieved, including the ladies, are saying something that is very simple. Why is it that when the monies and the budgets go to the finance ministry and it has the heading, Black Stars, Ghana national football team, men, seniors on it, everybody quickly, they find the money and they sort it out. That is what the people who are complaining are saying, Nathan. Why is it that when it comes to Ghana national women's team, seniors or juniors, somebody over the years, whether it is 5 years, our senior Rosalyn Amo said that she has seen this since 1995. Why is it that when it is the women or the girls, whatever you call it, somebody somewhere always says or is able to or manages to say, oh, you, this one, we can wait. That is my only problem. That is my only problem.
Yeah.
If it is Black Stars, nobody, and I mean everybody sits up and the posture is, hey, this one they will for do them quick. So Raymond, everything Raymond said is 100%. And the funding and how we are going to do it and sports fund, it is correct analysis is making of the situation. But you see, for a team that consistently, with the greatest of respect to our Black Stars, gives us more joy, that's better. Pound for pound, the return on investment on the Black Queens is consistently higher than the Black Stars. They deserve better. And Nathan, we can speak all the grammar we want, but that is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
That is where the annoyance is. When I spoke to the Black Queens ladies, look, they are human. They know, they listen to the news.
This is SportyFM.
They, know, they listen to the news every day, on every station. They know what is going on in the country. They know that, yes, we are in a period of austerity, but they also know that Black Stars played 2 qualifiers. They played the car one. They heard us on this station. We are the same people who have made enemies at the GFA because we brought out the Black Stars budget and they were not happy. And so if it is like that, we will say. If it is not like that, Nathan, we will say.
Yeah.
If it were the GFA who were at fault this morning, we will say. And at the end of the day, the FA and the people at the top there, they will make enemies of us like they have made enemies of us right now. And we have been accused of being in bed with the sports ministry because we as journalists know what the right thing is, and we are on the side of the people of Ghana to want accountability and transparency. And so if the ministry say that they are going to chase the transparency and accountability, and let Ghanaians know about how much is budgeted for Black Stars, we'll be on the side of the ministry. We went all the way to the president, we interviewed him, and he says that the minister has his support to put out figures about the Black Stars budgets beforehand. And so literally anybody who wants to be angry at the FA can be angry. He doesn't care because that is what he wants, the social contract he has with Ghanaians. So that's why we will say, this one, we are saying that the GFA is not at fault for this one. Whether it is the sports ministry or the finance ministry, all we know that it is the government. When it comes to the Black Queens, we want the same level of panic that they have when they see the papers on their desk and it has Black Stars written on it. That's what we are saying. Some of these ladies, like I said, I am able to speak on this authoritatively because I saw, look, some of them came from the WAFCON and they were looking for clubs to even sign them on improved contracts, and it was not working. Because you see, it is not as straightforward with the women who, like with the men, you have a contract, you finish your AFCON or something, you go straight. Some of them have ridiculous performance bonuses. Ridiculous. And some of them, doing well at the AFCON was literally a matter of life and of financial life and financial death. Some of them only had improved deals at their clubs only because they did well at the WAFCON. So Nathan, we are begging the government. Nathan was Raymond, the sports ministry and the finance ministry, and I've heard that. But please, look, don't pay the girls. Just pay the girls. All the other things is grammar. Just pay the girls. That's all I also wanted to say, Mr. Kwao.
Anyway, thank you, for this very interesting point. But before I let you go, though, Gary, Friday night was a big night for Sporty FM. For somebody who probably slept through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and is just waking up, what is it that was big, or what is it that Sporty FM was awarded with, or what is it that Sporty FM got recognized for on Friday night for the uninitiated?
Yes. So on Friday night, the prestigious Ghana Business Awards held an 8th edition at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. And after being nominated for 3 categories, we, by the grace of God, won the Emerging Brand of the Year. And the citation that accompanied the Emerging Brand of the Year was that, it was for a brand that had come into the scene in this calendar year, or from the time of the last award, and in that time has shown the most promise in terms of being the most promising brand across the business world, So that is what we were awarded for, and we are extremely delighted that the hard work of our team in-house and those outside, our immediate confines, because as you know, the Sporty Group is a multinational. There are so many people behind us. We are extremely excited and very, very thankful to our audience and listeners for helping us, because without the feedback that they give and, they telling people about us, whatever metrics that the people at the Ghana Business Awards used to come by and, decide on the winner of this award, which is Sporty FM, would not have been possible. So we're extremely excited, and after 10 months of operation, it's a big deal for us, and we know that we seem to have risen very, very fast, but that is all thanks to the good people in the team who work for us, the brand, and make it what it is, and then the people who listen, interact with us, and get us where we are. So we say Aiko to the entire team in-house, and then thank you very much to those who listen to us and who have made us the Emerging Brand of the Year.
All right. Massive congrats to the team. Massive congrats to you, Gary, because you lead and we follow. So congrats to you and to all of us and to our listeners. We thank you so much. Gary, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll catch up.
They should pay the Queens, we beg.
Of course, they have to pay the Black Queens. Anyway, Gary, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. All right, that was our original content lead, Gary Smith. So really, this is where we are, 8:32. We just want the Black Queens to be paid. We want the Black Queens to be paid. It is true, there are long-term matters that need to be solved. Great, but the Black Queens will have to be paid. We have a qualifier on our hands tomorrow. We have to get the Queens to be paid. They are owed money. They've worked hard. 8:32. You can send me a comment. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Okay? All right, let's take some calls. Let's listen, or let's hear from our listeners, the people who take time out and tuning and listen to us. 054-257-1061. After the calls, we'll talk some Ghana Premier League news and we'll proceed with the rest of the show. 054-257-1061. Let me take this call.
Sporty. Super Sporty, now Benya. Yeah. Super Sporty. No competition. Big out to Sporty FM. Charlie. Big out to Sporty FM. Charlie, you guys, you don't know what you've done to Ghana. See, you bring the issue even more than the government of Ghana.
Oh, how so?
Oh, it's true. Without Sporty, they are nothing. They are nothing without Sporty. This shout out to Abigail, Charlie. I like the passion this morning. Listen, I'm not surprised. Do you remember after the AFCON? I said something.
What did you say after the AFCON?
See, I don't know if you get my voice. I said
we shouldn't come back here and come and be discussing about bonuses and pay of the ladies.
Mm-hmm. I remember you said that.
Later, why? Instead of us to be talking something better, like how they should qualify, they are not talking about bonuses and how Charlie, like how, like why, Charlie.
All right.
Sometimes I don't understand this thing. See, just a little over $200,000. Something a senior man can do to the side chick.
Hey, Emmanuel, what are you saying?
Money where some senior man can give to the side chick just on a single deal. They can't use it. They can't pay the girls who have family that they depend on. So like, who want to buy? Who will buy things for themselves? Why do they want the girls to be going around sleeping with guys?
Oh, Emmanuel.
No, Nathan. Just call the speed. This thing is getting out of hand. Honorable Kofi Adams said he will not be the minister of Black Stars, but by the look of things, that's what he's doing. What is this, Nathan? See, the ladies, they shouldn't play. No money, no see. The Black Stars do something in Brazil. They should stand firm. No money, no play. They shouldn't play. What is this? What kind of country is this? Look at the money people are spending. Look at this guy, this LSE, National Service guy, allegedly. Look at the money he's spending. Just how much? See, if these girls should be in their family, will they be doing this? And then, see, if they had a family member in this black squad, would they be doing this? What kind of life is that?
Okay, Imani, let's bring other callers in. Let's bring other callers in.
And someone to went out to town. See, listen, you've gone out with your nice shoes, looking good. You go to the town. Someone says, "I'll buy your shoe." You remove your shoes and sell it and be running around with your barefooted. That's what Kotoko just did.
Okay, all right. Emmanuel, thank you.
Have a good morning.
Let me bring others in. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me take the call on the other line, 030-279-4805. Hello.
Sporty,
hey, you people.
Sing with me. Why? Sing with me. I'm winning Indiana.
Jose. But we are also fighting for the Black Queens in T. Our
Black Queens are the 44 Imagine brand of the year. You are calling on the show. Imagine brand of the year. And imagine sports brand and Kasa, a brand, a whole brand in teachers, all sectors. But I send a margin, Charlie, was a moon. Sada, I am what dear, I have an old dear, Beji. Sada, I am what dear, Beji. But I say, Michael from a blue one.
Michael, how are you doing?
Oh, yeah, come on. Who's there? Emmanuel Cassini, someone. When you hear,
yeah. You
remember?
I remember. Okay, be Manos. Okay,
can't say he can't wear some bit here. Zonzi Abedrua. Gary Trot on the Facebook post as I'm gathering. I'm going to pay Sky Jama Black Stars as a Black Queens. I'm going to pay Sky Work Up as a Black Queens. But as I met today, Raymond Time, as I understand perfectly, say when a broad issue.
Yeah.
But then your first scenario being found to say. Same Sanka Black Stars maybe a final qualifier beyond the body of World Cup. And I'm telling you, I'm going to show Mumba and situation in bedding. Would you imagine we be signing here? Sadly, Sanka situation na bedro sisi a kudus me so boycott training omo nye training sisi a anka baby as kawo bia classical example 2014 yen ka se mo kan fan ko mo but then example ni bi no omo ka so mo but then your flights come from Ghana de mo so ati asinti se girls ne du so dia won ya se de obi o wa Canada no wo hu sunsun na nye hihye no
SportyFM.
so ati asa obi o wa Canada wo hu sunsun na nye hihye no because e bi esipen so me ye mistake as ka na ha ye ntia nti di omo ya na ye tio ma so mo ye no mo ndi scam because you say immediate baby duru na na ehia be me ntia ka no ye wia na afidi aka the brother issue na afidi a hwese ye be si tia national team other federations ne ka but then baby do say see already ye pesca ya ma guess no mo tumi aye djuma no because anya sa e be ka ho e be yense na ho so ati ase be ya de e be trend na mo ye penani e refi ntia mo ye na na e refi echa but then say black stars na ya anka ba sanki ya pesca ya mom da so ati ase nti issue na abroad but then immediate issue na abano yen solve the issue ni sisi a yen hwe kakra de ma girls se bibi kra ka na de mo kra na mo training akobo match na yen fa mo so ati ase since be ka se omo boycott training because yes na e the bad name in brain so ati ase madam ase but yes still na emerging brand of the year SportyFM ya wo dia beji
Michael, thank you so much for the call. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning.
Hey, congratulations to you guys and my fellow callers.
All right, thank you.
We did it less than a year. Yes, the emerging brand of the year. Kudos to all of us.
Thank you so much.
Now, the minister, the sports minister, why is he behaving like that? Can we ever tell the Black Stars that they don't have money, so if they won't play, they should pack their baggages and leave? You see, the same people, we will get back and then behave as if we should care about girls. We should take care of women. We should handle women with care and all that. What is he doing now? And this morning, I'm a little surprised at Ray's submission.
Why?
Why is he bringing in a long-term issue that has been existed for all this while?
I mean, it's also a perspective, right? It's part of the problem. So there's an immediate problem, and then there's a bigger problem.
We are looking at the immediate problem, my brother. We are looking at the immediate problem in the sense that these girls have gone away to win at Egypt.
It was in
That is what we are talking about.
Okay, they won in Egypt, yeah.
We are not talking about the fact that it happened in 5 years ago before this administration came and paid the coaches that were owned. Is it coaches' issue or we are talking about the girls? How much is their money? How much is their money? You see, he himself, he realized his plant isn't too good. So he said he's not holding big for anybody or anything like that.
You see, because it's you can easily interpret his stance. But the point is that his stance is equally true. So there are two problems, the immediate one and the long-term one.
We are not talking about the long-term one, my brother. The girls are playing tomorrow. Something must be done. That's what we are saying.
Okay.
We know the problem is there all this while. You understand? But we are looking at tomorrow's match. And a minister tell them that if you won't play, you can pack your baggages and leave. Come on. The girls need their money. They are our girlfriends. They are our sisters. They are our kid sisters.
They have
worked for it.
They are whose girlfriends?
Ours. See, Ray also made another point that the girls, you should tell me one of the girls that wasn't playing before the Black Queens call up him. Ever since. How many of the girls were clubless and the national team called them? Nobody, none of them. They were all playing one way or the other. So if Ray is saying because when they play for the Black Queens, they should look at that perspective that they will get a better club. Some got better clubs after the WAFCON or whatever. So does it mean they should play for free? So which of the players would have been called if they didn't have a club previously? So they had a club before you call them.
Yeah.
So when they play and they upgrade themselves, you don't use that one as an alibi that because of that, they shouldn't take their money. Why? Why? These girls, are they not pathetic to us? Look at if the minister is made. Look at the convoy, the V8. How much forward do they even spend in a day?
The voice of sport.
Charlie, they should be careful. They should be careful. They should be careful when it comes to this, our girls. They should be careful. The girls are playing their heart out for this. You can't even appreciate the fact that just few days ago they went all the way to Egypt to win. Mere formality that is left that they have to play this match here tomorrow. Look at what you are doing to them. You can't even convince them enough. You are telling them if they can't play, they should pack their baggages and leave. Is that how a leader speaks? A responsible leader. Is that how a responsible leader speaks? Charlie, it's unfortunate that we have to celebrate today, and they are bringing in all these things. They are messing up. They are messing our day. I mean, an emerging brand of the year. Instead of us popping champagne, they are making Abigail too worried over there in the studio.
You know that is the work. As for this work, there's little time to celebrate because we still have these issues.
We have to celebrate. Some of these things shouldn't come and shouldn't be an issue. You can just up half. I didn't tell that the country, the ministry cannot provide even part payment for these girls. What kind of disregard are we giving to the girls? Other disrespect we need. Girls like want them or fire. They should bow down their head in shame with this resetting. They are talking about resetting our football. Is that how you reset football? When you can't pay the most vulnerable team, the Black Queens, the girls team. You can't pay them. And you, a whole man, you want to make a reference to 5 years issues that there are people there, so we shouldn't pay them to. They should go and play. Go and play what? My brother, I'm getting upset. Let me hold it there. Thank you very much.
All right, just relax. 8:46. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. You can send a WhatsApp message 0542571061. You can give us a call. We'll take one or two calls, and then we talk about the Ghana Premier League. Very interesting weekend in the Ghana Premier League. Kelvin also was in the studio. Kelvin, do you also want something?
This is quite sad. It's quite sad and it's terrible. Black Stars and Kayafai charter flight among. It would have been paid. They would have been sorted, sleeping in the best of hotels. All the facilities involved. This is not. It doesn't happen only to the Black Queens, though.
Oh yeah.
It happens to the under 17.
Under 17, U20. Let me take this caller. Let me take this final caller, and then we proceed with the show. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Clement from Chicago.
All right, Clement, please go ahead.
In the Black Queens, we don't know about this is.
Hello, Clement. Okay, all right. Look, Clement's line is dodgy. All right, you know what? We'll put a lid on the calls for now. Okay, we'll close the lines for now so we can get the show going. Kelvin, you were saying something. Sorry to interrupt.
So just like I said, it doesn't happen to just the Black Queens. The under 17s face the same thing. 19 hours via bus, road. They cannot tell us that they cannot book flight for this team to go to Cote d'Ivoire to go and where they even play there. Was it Cote d'Ivoire? To go and play and come back. Why? What have we done wrong? Is it not the same taxes that is being used to cater for the Black Stars?
Yep, that's true.
Are the under 17s, under 20s, the under Galaxies and all others? Are they not part of the nation? Are they not also Ghanaians? To the point that we treat ladies or women who have played football to qualify us, put us top of the ladder. We treat them this way. By virtue or currency of results, between the Black Stars and then the Black Queens, who should be treated better in regards to currency of results? Look at the AFCONs with these guys. We've given all our money to, have gone to the World Cup. They fail time and time again. But we still pamper them. When they come and they will be lifting their legs like something, and then Comoros and other teams will be beating us, Niger and all others will be beating us. We still pamper them. These ladies continue to excel. It was the Black Queens that qualified Ghana to World Cup even before the men did. They played at the World Cup.
Yeah, 95.
Even before the men did.
Yeah.
What has gone wrong? This is no money to them. Now Black Stars Ninkon, what you saying? Their money for 2 games. We saw the budget. Didn't we see it? How much is this Black Queens bonuses that they don't want to pay? After all the efforts that they've put in. Some of the ladies, just as we look at these guys can survive without, but these ladies,
their situations are very different, you know?
It's so delicate. How do we ignore them? To the point that they performed at the AFCON, they are playing qualifiers for another tournament. They've won the first leg, and they're asking for what is due them, and it cannot be given. Have you spoken to Wanda?
We've been trying to reach. We've been trying to reach.
You should come and tell us if that statement is true, or it's been confirmed that statement casually was really made. That if they like, they can go. If that is it, then it's bad. Sports Minister Kofi Adams, if that is the case, we want to have a word, a confirmation of it. That Wanda, wherever you are, if anybody is Wanda's friend, the Sports Minister's PA, please let us get him. He should come and confirm to us. If that statement is true, that is disgraceful. It's so unfair to these ladies. Why? What has gone wrong? That under 17s are struggling. It started from last time. Prosper Ogum and his team faced the same thing. Now Black Queens are facing the same thing too. Must it always be about one? And at the end of the day, they go and then they can't even give us the kind of results we want. All these ladies are eager. Just look at the likes of Chantel and how eager they are to play her first ever game in front of Ghanaian fans in Ghana. And look at what is happening. I am seriously amazed by this. Today is Monday. The game is tomorrow. Egypt, they definitely know what is going on. The game is tomorrow. You may have the best of players, quality players,
but if you don't prep well for the game,
you will fail.
You will struggle.
Fine, we are with a 3-0 aggregate lead, but it can be cancelled easily. This is football. We've seen it.
Orlando Pirates did something.
Thank you. Go and ask them. Sentelua Lupopo just made sure that they cried.
The voice of sport.
This is quite disturbing. You can't even find words.
It's for me
how we treat our other national teams.
So sad.
FIFA should just put us in Mexico.
They should send us to Mexico.
Yeah. But you remember there was a time with the Black Galaxies. That's how come he left that job. He was going to be paid and the boys were not paid. And he said if we are not paying the players, he's not doing the job. Yeah. So it's not just about the woman, but the only problem with the woman is the consistency.
Yeah, of course. The consistency in these incidents happening. And it's been there.
And it cuts across the other national teams.
Yeah. U17, U20, coaches have not been paid. I remember U20.
And this is football that we hold in nice. Not to talk about the other federations.
Somebody... I've received. Anyway, let me know if you think about that message. I don't even.
Not to even think about the other federations. Why did we go wrong?
It's sad. Maybe we have to get our priorities right again.
No. I ask myself, as human as we are, where do you put your assets? Is it not places where there are liabilities? You put it where there are liabilities. But baby, be one where they are enriched, they are okay, they are good. That is where we put our money.
SportyFM.
That is where we decide to give them. We give them the more, and then they continue to fail us, and we give them more again. Why?
Anyway,
wonder should come. If it was something else, he would have called. He's listening to us. He should come and respond. He should come and tell us whether that statement is true. How do you tell girls these things?
We've been trying to get a response from the ministry all morning. All morning. So if somebody is listening to us and you probably think that, we are doing a one-sided job, we've been trying to reach the ministry all day.
Totally. I remember when the Black Queens was dominated by Hazake's ladies and local players. I remember one time they were like, one lady, the younger sister was me mama ni mi niake 200 road me dey na mato. It was quite sad. Some of these ladies are facing these things. We are lucky that now opportunities have sprung and number of them are playing outside. It's quite disturbing. Why should it get to this point? Playing qualifiers tomorrow or music adadana into is a problem. Lord have mercy.
8:55. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Your comments are welcome. 054-257-1061. All right, let's talk about the Ghana Premier League now. The Ghana Premier League happened over the weekend. Oh no, we'll talk about Kotoko. And why are you trying to worry Michael Asai this morning? Why?
I'm forgetting the name of his podcast.
Why are you people trying to
post?
I don't know why you guys are trying to worry Michael Asai this morning.
He dies for Asante Kotoko. He lives, he breathes.
Oh, how do you mean? The man lives and works. You see, he lives and works. Relax, let me take it. Oh no, let me say.
No, he loves.
No, you see, you are getting it all wrong. The man works in a city where Asante Kotoko is the most dominant club. So it makes sense.
It's not true.
It makes sense that he will keep an extra eye on Asante Kotoko.
Away from that.
What are you talking about?
The
man grew up in Obuasi. I suspect he supports.
He's not even breathing well, can't you see?
I'm sure he supports the defunct or the old Ashanti Gold. The way I support the old Ashanti Gold.
Hey,
Michael, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good.
I don't know why Kelvin and Abigail seem to be on your case this morning.
Four polls.
But you are not alone. I'm in your corner. It's 2-on-2 now.
So, okay.
Four polls.
Better clarify. Abigail, why?
Abigail, answer the question.
Make one about 26.
Anyway, let's start from that and then we talk about the Ghana Premier League. Asante Kotoko lost 5-1 on Friday, 6-1 on aggregate. Michael, thoughts on that? I was stunned by the scoreline. I mean, I thought with that we're ultimately going to go through. But how did Kotoko give away 5 goals in that encounter?
Well, they failed to recover from the way they considered the second goal, and it got to them, the occasion, everything. Oftentimes when we discuss the performance of Ghanaian clubs in Africa, we speak to issues like exposure, experience, and these things do really matter. These are Asante Kotoko players, and I must be blunt, have never played in front of such a crowd before. They've never played in such an atmosphere before, and it got intimidating for them at a point in time. But I must commend them for how they held their own after conceding the first goal, how they held their own, and then they eventually got the equalizer. In fact, the first half was very good, but for some individual errors that were Asante Kotoko's undoing, I think they should have ended the first half with a 1-1 scoreline, and it would have been deserving. But the point is that there is a gulf between us and then these North African clubs. Even for WAC, they are trying to research. It wasn't an all-pleasing campaign for them last 2 seasons. Last season, they tried to right the wrongs, and it looks like they are on the ascendancy. For Asante Kotoko, we don't know the phase of the project that they are running because it's been mass players out, mass players in. So we have our issues that we have to contend with. And when we come up against some of these opponents, they expose how far apart we are from them. And that is clearly what played out. In the second half, we failed to handle our own, and it caused the Asante Kotoko team to concede the third goal. And then when that happened, eventually everybody gave up, and then the goal concession started to increase. And that is one thing that you can look up to. But if you are looking at why Kotoko did not get a favorable result, one would have to be goalkeeping in the 2 legs. And I think instead of focusing on just the goalkeepers in question, in this case, Mohamed Kamara, Aziz Haruna Dari, then we would have to look at the kind of training these goalkeepers are having at the training ground. So,
okay, Michael, I want you to do something for me, right? I just want you to just hold it for me. I'm told we have Wanda Mandel on the line. Wanda Mandel is a special aide to the sports ministry. So we are backtracking slightly to get to this Black Queens matter. It's a pressing issue. So we will come back to Asante Michael. So apologies to you. Let's just get Wanda and then we can, get the show back on track. Wanda, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. How are you? I'm doing great by the grace of God.
We are fine, but we are concerned about the Black Queens. The players we are in a deadlock as we speak, right? Now, what from the ministry's perspective, what can you tell us? I'm sure the ministry is aware that the players boycotted training over the weekend. There's a qualifier tomorrow. They want their outstanding bonuses and all their financial obligations met. Where exactly are we, and what can the ministry tell us in response to the news we are hearing or what we know concerning the Black Queens?
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning to your lovely listeners. I've heard the news. I mean, we've seen the news, and all I can say is since taking office, the Honorable Minister for Sports and Recreation has shown some unprecedented interest in women football, not only on policies and visibility, but also in direct support for these players. Because he actually always called them my daughters, and they have that father and daughter relationship. I mean, for the first time, we've seen a minister that has been so much involved in women football, especially with the Black Queens, throughout their campaign in Morocco. His involvement with the team in Morocco was more personal and very financially sacrificial from his end. So it's unfortunate that we are here right now, but all I can say is Minister is working so hard to resolve all the issues, to resolve the issue concerning their bonuses, and also we want to just encourage the girls that this is a minister that is so concerned when it comes to women football, and is very transparent, and he believes in anybody that provides service to a country needs to be honored. As you are aware, or as you know, the first thing minister did when he took office was even to pay salaries owed to coaches way back 2022 till now. He made sure we cleared all those debts to start from a fresh note, to honor the contract of coaches that he didn't even employ, coaches that he didn't even engage. So when it comes to bonuses and per diem, he's so keen on it, and knows that is something that you need to keep going as a player or as a technical person. So we are working on it. We are trying to resolve the issue. It's a bit beyond the ministry, but government is committed, and I know we are on it.
Wanda, confirm a number of things for me. One, did the minister meet the team yesterday or over the weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, when was this said meeting?
So yesterday the minister met the team with the president of the SA, and they have a tete-a-tete meeting with the leadership of the girls, and they discussed the pressing issue of they saying they won't play until they get their per diem. Honestly, Minister, with the kind of love he has for women football, because he always says that men's football has reached that peak. It's now time for us to invest and get women's football to where it's supposed to belong. We'll never go and tell the girls that if you won't play, go home. He can never say that, and he didn't say that. He assured the girls.
Sorry, I'm listening.
So he assured the girls that he's working on the bonuses. He's chasing it from the point of the presidency and then the Ministry of Finance to get the releases. So as soon as that gets in, they will get paid. So he didn't say, but at the end of the day, the girls who stand resolute that, if they don't get their money before the game, they won't come and play. But he just assured them that they will be paid and they will receive their money no matter what. They should go represent themselves, because at the end of the day, it's their career, they're making themselves proud first, and they are also putting Ghana on the map. And no matter what, they will get paid. But let me get some clarifications to you. Apparently, how these things work. It's so still on the same process of how the estimate comes from the FA and goes to the ministry. The ministry sends to the presidency for final approval before it goes to finance for releases. If you are aware, when the Black Queens were going for the Women AFCON in Morocco, there were issues about their pre-camp and going to the tournament and group stages. Now, what happened is that the budget submitted, the estimate submitted, was just for the group stages of the tournament. And when approval, minister chose to get the approval for the girls, approval just came for just the group stages, and the releases were not released in full. I mean, we didn't get all the full money released, even just for the group stages. So as they proceed in the tournament, we will do another budget, another estimate for the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and then the third place. But with minister's own commitment and getting there, mind you, the girls are supposed to take $1,500 for winning a match in Morocco as the winning bonus. And if you are aware or you followed the tournament keenly, you realize that the team won only one match in the group stage. They won one, they drew one, and they lost one. Right. So they're supposed to earn $1,500. Apparently, the goodwill of the special interest that Honorable Kofi Adams has for the Queens and the development of women's football, he met the government, the key people in government, and made the case that no, if they even win all the three matches, it's still a qualification to the quarterfinals, and even winning a match, he feels that we should motivate them and not give them the $1,500, but pay them the full amount of winning bonus that was approved. That's the $4,500 instead of the $1,500. You know, so instead of a standard winning bonus of a USD of $1,500 for winning just one game in the group stages, Honorable, out of his own goodwill and forward-looking motivation, advocates for the full group stage winning bonus to be paid to these girls. This is how. Yeah.
No problem. So Wanda, so how much in all is the outstanding amount? How much are the Black Queens players owed per head?
So in outstanding amount is I think 9,500 per the calculation, because winning bonus for the group stages they're supposed to take 1,500, but Honorable Kofi Adams, his motivation, said, hey, we'll give you the 4,500 because you guys have proven a point and we want you to do well. And he actually pushed for the quarterfinals. That's supposed to be another 1,500. He pushed that they should get a winning bonus of 2,000. And the semi-finals was supposed to be 3,000. Which they didn't win, but he pushed that for it to be paid for the third place that they won. Mind you, throughout this period, the only approval that came was just to cover the group stages. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm following.
There was no approval of per diem, accommodation, feeding, and the rest for the remaining days after the group stage.
Okay.
But he used his own money and add it up to the approval that came for just the group stage to make sure that all their per diems that they're supposed to end from pre-camp to the last day in Morocco of the third place was paid.
All right. So great stuff. But so as things stand, the girls are owed $9,500. All right, let's backtrack. Yeah. Let's backtrack a bit. I want us to go back to the said meeting. I just want you to tell me who were in the meeting. You've mentioned the sports minister, Honorable Kofi Adams. You mentioned the GFA president, Mr. Kurt Edwin Simeon Okraku. Who else was in that meeting?
And the leadership of the girls. I mean the captains.
The captains.
And there's some key leadership of the girls.
Okay, so that is quite clear. Now, Wanda, so what was the final word from that meeting?
So the final word from that meeting is Honorable Kofi Adams assuring them that, hey, if I've been able to even use some of my own personal resources to assist throughout the tournament, you know, they came down, when they even came down for the first time, he's giving them that national heroic welcome, sending them to Parliament for the minister to have a statement on their behalf, sending them to the presidency, having a dinner with the vice president. This is a high-level commitment from a minister who believes in women, from a minister who believes in equity. Yes, he understands the challenges, but this is actually beyond us, and we all have to come to that board to have that conversation of having a consensus where funding for sports will be on that high level. So he assured them that, hey, we are working on it. There were a lot of tournaments during that period. Under 20 was in Egypt, under 17 was going somewhere, and the Black Stars was also playing. As I speak to you, we play in all these tournaments that I've just mentioned, from the under 20 men, under 20 boys in Egypt to the under 17 in Cote d'Ivoire to the Black Princesses, their qualifiers to the Black Stars system. We owe a lot in this service provided to technical team and all that. We are working on it. And just go and play the same way I've committed myself to make sure you get all that you need of comfortability in Morocco to play. The same way we are going to make sure you receive this money. So, it's unfortunate, but we are working on it.
Okay. So, are there any? I wonder if you'll be able to give us timelines. The game is tomorrow, and we do understand the very precarious nature of the situation. I don't know if it's even a fair question to ask if you can give us a timeline, but no, I'll still ask it anyway for the purpose of education for the public. Are there timelines we are looking at, especially knowing that that game is tomorrow?
Yes, so it's a whole lot of procedure and processes to get this thing done. And they played the first leg, they've done really well. The game is tomorrow. We hope and pray that they'll get out there and deliver again as the queens that they are. The timeline, as I mentioned earlier, the Honorable Minister has a little control over the timeline because it has to go through finance and before the release. As I speak to you, he's working on all those things this morning. So hopefully, let's just wait by the end of the day what the conversations will be. So I can't really give us a particular timeline that, the money will be released today or tomorrow, but we just know that the girls would definitely be paid and will be paid very soon.
Well, I hope so, because if the qualifiers don't go as planned, I'm sure you can imagine the heat and pressure that will be on the ministry and minister. Yeah, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I would say the heat will be on us as a nation, and you see that is where I wanted to have the conversation, and we all must come to that open mindset that the sports ministry operates on a very lean budget. If we have that budget there, for instance, the whole sports ministry is running on a budget approval of 69 million Ghana cedis. That's like approximately $6.9 million. So if you look at all these math and going forward and all these things that is happening in the process, the passion to support the national team is very strong. We must go through due process and all that.
Okay.
But we must have the conversation of having that sports fund established.
Okay.
Making sure that sports is not always an afterthought. We must call for that need where there is that consensus of going beyond just government to raise funds to support this thing. So it will be sorted, hopefully. Honorable Kofi Adams is a man of his word. He's committed to transparency. If he has done it for them throughout the AFCON period, why not now? They will surely go into everybody that is on that team that has put Ghana on the map to winning that bronze is going to get their bonuses. It's not going to be a business as usual. In the past, today I was listening to my sister, Abigail, and he said it, that these have been issues that have been happening in the past.
Yeah.
I'm someone who has been in the industry for a while.
So you are well aware.
I'll follow the trend. But there was one question I always asked. There were times that the queens come to the ministry, just even come to do demonstrations for their per diem. For their per diem. This is the first time their per diem has been paid from pre-camp to even before the qualification. I learned there were issues. The Honorable Minister took office. Issues from pre-camp. All those issues have been paid.
Okay.
All their per diems have been paid.
Okay.
They should just give Minister that trust that they've given him, and they believe that this will also be sorted.
All right, Wanda. All right, Wanda, thank you so much. We'll keep an eye on this. This story is developing, and then we'll see how it all plays out ultimately.
Sure.
The other bonuses.
Which other bonuses?
The other bonuses, the under 17s and the others. When are they also having theirs?
Wonder, my colleague Kelvin is asking. Yes.
So that is where the conversation is right now. So you have to see that there are a lot of things that is happening in the process at the meantime. Under 17, under 20, Black Stars and all that. So these processes will take a bit of time. What you need right now for the team to deliver, for the team to deliver, all those things are being provided. Their accommodation, their feeding, their per diem income, and all the other necessary things. As for bonuses, we don't pay cash. You know this. From the MFA report, we don't pay cash. It needs to go to their account or send through checks. So it's been handled. It's a tough one on government because we are still in process in researching stuff. Funds are still coming in. We are putting things together to make sure that we sort the significant ones out as we go ahead. We owe a lot of service providers, even things that we didn't even contract. We have to pay. We have to pay. And this is someone who is so committed. Honorable Minister is so committed in dealing with this. So we need the voices of the media to speak, to make sure government understand, to make sure private companies understand, to come on board to support sports, because sports now is no more charity. If you invest in it, there's a big win for everybody. And this is the time that we need to champion or rally behind the sports fund to make sure we have this. Like all these little issues will be addressed and we'll move forward.
All right, Wanda, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll speak again soon and we'll look out for more updates. All right, Wanda, thank you so much. That was Wanda Mandel, Sea Trooper, joining us. He's the special aide to the sports minister. All right, so at least we've heard from the ministry. We'll follow up. It's 9:16. We'll follow up on this till we get a resolution or till we have something concrete to work with. All right, now let's get back to Michael Asai-Bredu. Michael, apologies for the interruptions. You know how these things work sometimes.
Yeah, I understand.
Wonderful. You were talking about Asante Kotoko, the goalkeeping, but that's where you got to, the goalkeeping part, and then we had to interrupt you. So please pick up the conversation from there.
In the two legs, there was a goalkeeping error that led to Kamara eventually being sent off. And then in the second leg, there were goalkeeping errors that led to goals as well. And you would have to consider the problem as not just an issue of goalkeepers or the personnel. It has to do also with their training. So you ask yourself the question, what kind of training are they having at the Adakojachi training grounds? What is it that the goalkeepers are taking through that they are not able to apply themselves very well in real game scenarios or situations? And this is an issue that I think the club will need to look at. And we don't need to scapegoat goalkeepers or players for their non-performance or their role played in how Asante Kotoko considered all these goals. But I think there is an issue that needs addressing. And so we need to look beyond just the two goalkeepers and then address the bigger issue. And then to the other parts, there were players who excelled. For instance, someone like Sambo O'Neill, he distinguished himself in the two legs, but I think in the second leg, he stood out and he really led as the captain. Clearly, these are players you build on with. But the issue with our football in general is the lack of money. We don't have the kind of resources to match up to the investment that these clubs make in their teams. So just before the second leg commenced, you heard news of Hakim Ziyech agreeing to join with that athletic club. And Hakim Ziyech, with all his profile and everything, will see the need to join WAC because of the project on offer, because of the players available, because of the prospect, what he thinks WAC can do for him. One, he will put himself in contention to be part of Morocco's World Cup squad. And two, they'll be competing in the CAF Confederation Cup, not just to participate, but also to win. Can we say same for our Ghanaian clubs? No. How many of our Ghanaian clubs can even lure players who are on the fringes, talk of Ghanaian players, to come back and play for them? How much would they even pay them? So these are the bigger issues that we need to look at. Our football has lost its standard. The league is competitive, but the standard has dropped. The quality has dropped. It's because we are unable to retain our best players for a consistent period. Trust me, this Asante Kotoko squad they use in Africa, by the time this season ends, the key players will likely leave. Albert Amo has just been sold to Al Ahly Benghazi, and it's for good money. It is for justifiable reasons. The fan out there will not understand. But if you break down the numbers, if a player is going to earn not less than $20,000 a month, meanwhile at his club, he was not even earning up to 6,000 Ghana cedis a month, just consider what will happen. Aside the money he will earn as monthly salary, there is an add-on. So let's say monies that will be paid him, a signing-on fee. That is the best word to use, a signing-on fee that will be paid to him when he agrees to join Al-Ahly Benghazi. And if his salary is not less than 20,000, just imagine the signing-on fee. And a club gets to benefit from no less than 500,000 US dollars just from this year. This is a player that they brought on board and is not even played for 2 seasons and beyond. But if Kotoko had the resources, if they had the money, and then they were hell-bent on running a project, then they would have been able to say no to some of these deals. Okay, we have our money. We can afford to miss out on 500,000 US dollars. If they are paying Albert Tamwa like $15,000 a month, if an offer comes and it's like 20,000, Kotoko can say, oh, we can match the offer, but we can present you with better opportunities, because if you play for us, you are consistent and you are performing at the top level, there is an opportunity that a local campaign can be made, and then you will be included in Ghana's World Cup squad. All these things can be used to entice players. So we don't have the money, and we can't assemble teams for a consistent period of time, and that is how come we've become second best to some of these opponents. So it is the reality. The result just pays or posts the reality between us and then these North African clubs. It is so painful, but we have to just swallow the bitter pill.
I've heard comments attributed to Safuduku talking about the financial reality and the fact that, you know, they need to balance the books and all. But quickly finally on this bit, did you find the timing of the Albert Amoah transfer announcement, did you find the timing really interesting? Do you think it was the best time for Asante Kotoko to have made that announcement following, you know, such a thumping by Wydad Athletic?
I think, you see, in transfers, it goes in 2 ways: the selling club and the buying club. Then it would have to do with situations or conditions prevailing in both camps. Even if you want to add that of a player, you consider that as well. So in the case of Kotoko, the Ghanaian window is shut, but there is still an opportunity to do business. And in this case, they fended off interest from clubs in Europe and then in the Emiratis, precisely Qatar. Before the season started, there was a Qatari club that showed interest in Albert Amoah. What Kotoko did was that they presented, the player even knew the offer before it got to the club, because these days what happens is that the players give mandate to agents within certain regions. So, for instance, if I am a Saribwedu, I play for so and so club, I will give a mandate to an agent in North Africa, an agent in Europe, an agent, so that they'll be acting on my behalf. So they'll be sending my files, everything, to clubs who are interested. Now, when these clubs show interest, the agent then has to inform me. Then I would have to give the go-ahead before the agent can forward the proposal to the club. So the player even knew before the club was made aware. And then when the club decided to sit down with the player, they were able to convince him that if he can fend off this interest and then he remains focused and then up his performances, this was even before the season started, then he will get a better deal. The player agreed. But I think what was most enticing about what the proposal the club made to him was that eventually, if he stopped performing, there could be a spot for him in the Black Stars, because they will have to lobby their way through, make sure he gets called up, even for the qualifiers or for the World Cup proper. So the player agreed, and you can tell that when the season started, Albert Amoah was on top form, and he was in the Black Stars conversations. And even the Black Stars technical team had to give the assurance that, yes, they had their eye on him. They were monitoring his performances, and when they need be, and that they do need his services, they will extend an invitation to him. So that really played well. But in this scenario, when they went to Morocco, then they were approached. Again, an agent had already spoken to Albert Amoah. So even before the game, the player had his head turned. And if you listen to the financial details of this deal or this package, you would absolutely be shocked. Because one, Albert Amoah joined Asante Kotoko relatively for a lower fee. Then two, he was not being paid the top of he was not paid top of the bill. Like he wasn't earning enough, like a huge sum of money at Asante Kotoko, because he joined them as a low profile player. It is at Kotoko that he's been able to enhance or build his profile, that he's become one of the top performers in the Ghana Premier League. But he had not even played a full season in the Ghana League before he joined Asante Kotoko. The only stint he had was half a season at the relegated Great Olympics. So at Kotoko, then he played his first full season. So he was not really among the top earners within the Asante Kotoko team. So when the offer came, the agent presented everything to him. You are going to earn $20,000 plus a signing-on fee. This is just for the player. Any player that plays in the Ghana Premier League, whether they are a top earner or not a top earner, definitely will have his head turned. He will not be in the right frame of mind. So you approach the player and you say, oh, you continue to play for us, especially when Kotoko had exited Africa. They had lost the first leg, and the chance of making it in the second leg was very slim. It is difficult to convince a player to continue to stay. But even if you make that proposal, you also need to make a counter offer to him. So if Al Ahly Benghazi are paying him $20,000, how much will Kotoko offer as a counter proposal? The player would definitely not listen, because I am going to get like $150,000 as signing on fee, $20,000 as monthly salary. Then the club will also earn a sizable amount of money, not less than $500,000. Certainly, Nathan, it will be difficult for any club in the Ghana Premier League to refuse this offer. And I can cite examples. Razak Simpson played for the Black Stars during the AFCON qualification process. His profile short, his value appreciated. To date, he remains in the Ghana Premier League because no club was willing to pay that amount for him. Then again, Kamaruddin Mamadou, he received consistent call-ups into the Black Stars. To date, no club has been able to pay the amount. The only realistic figure Midyama got was $50,000 from Stellenbosch in South Africa, which Midyama rejected. So our players don't really have the value. So when deals like this or proposals like this do come, I want to believe that clubs will not think twice about doing business. And it is better in this state that to have a player who is disgruntled and then will not start playing for you. And in Kotoko, there is an example. Richmond Lamptey went to the AFCON with the Black Stars. He came, he had enhanced his value, everybody was talking about it. At that material point in time, he had an offer from, I think it's a club in Sudan, I stand to be corrected. The club decided that no, since you've become part of the Black Stars, you play for us, extend your deal, and then when the season ends, we can sell you and get a sizable amount of money. Lamptey refused, and then he started giving excuses that he was injured, he will not be available to play. And truly, after the AFCON, you can cross-check. Richmond Lamptey never played a single game for Asante Kotoko after the African Cup of Nations. And these are the issues that the players do. There is the issue of player power, which clubs cannot really control. Nobody can actually force a player to stay. And it's not just in Ghana. It happens in Europe. Newcastle United and Alexander Isak, Juan Visa, and then Brentford. When a player wants to leave, the club has very few or limited chances of trying to convince him to stay on board. And that is clearly in the Albert Amwa situation. He definitely needed this deal because it is a deal breaker. It helps him improve his finances for himself and his family, and then Kotoko also makes their money. So I understand the timing bit. Again, it was prior to the end of the transfer window in Libya. They operate in a different jurisdiction. Every federation sets their own time frames, and their transfer window was about expiring during that weekend, and they needed to get the deal done with. And everything was processed and done right at the Asante Kotoko team hotel when they went to Casablanca. So these things, they do happen. That is one thing we need to understand. Our Ghanaian clubs are not in a position to refuse juicy offers, no matter where the offer is coming from. It could be from Sudan, Libya, Kuwait, wherever. If the money is good, our clubs will take it because they are not making much more money here. And I want us to stop the habit of, player has gone in a club. Every football club runs on three things. One, sponsorships from corporate entities. Two, revenue generation from match day ticketing and other proceeds. Three, player sales. Kotoko have done sales. They will need money to run. They are business. Let's understand it. If the fans don't want you, then they should start trooping to the stadium in their numbers, pay huge sums of money, and make sure that they're able to recoup a lot of money so that they can pay their players well and keep their best players. Because as it stands now, Kodoko have not even generated in excess of 100,000 CDs from all the games that they've played so far. Every single game generates not even more than 20,000, and that is an eyesore. It does not reflect the status of the club. And we always say they are one of the biggest clubs, one of the most followed clubs. Now these corporate entities are looking out for the numbers. When they play at home, you will not really be excited about it. So every stakeholder needs to come on board and let's solve this issue. But before it is solved, let's understand our clubs when they sell their players and make good money.
Well, interesting points there. 9:29. Let's stay with the Ghana Premier League. Let's just run through some of the results. Kelvin knows my science here. Kelvin, you also had your eye on the league. Which result jumped out at you? And then I take Michael's comments. Let's not forget that later this morning, there's Total English Football with Yvonne Woyome and her gang. They'll be here to review all the things that happened in the Premier League from over the weekend. Kelvin, your thoughts? Ghana Premier League. I don't know which of the games you want to talk about.
Well, I think it was an interesting game yesterday. A game of two halves. You know,
Heart of Oak and Gold Stars.
Yeah, it was a game of two halves. It was nice to witness, nice to watch. Heart of Oak started very well, dominated. You know, the game, managed to get the opener. Though they wasted lots of opportunities on the day. I think Heart of Oak should have been able to win or even started the second half with a 2-goal difference. But unfortunately, they missed lots of chances. Maulu Wayo, Hamza Issa, Kwabno. So in the final third, they didn't make the right decisions. And Rocky Jamna, gradually he's getting or cementing a place in Didi Dramani's team, and he's playing so well. In the absence of Karim, Heart of Oak are still creating numerous goal-scoring opportunities, but it's left with a finisher. Duku is still unavailable and not fully fit to be playing this game, so they would have to rely on Wayo and then Hamza Issa, the likes, to play for them. But Gold Stars turned the game around in the second half. You know, the opening minutes of the second half, they decided to do what they were not doing right in the first half, because they were letting Heart of Oak too much space, to control the ball, pass the ball around. And Heart of Oak were happy with that, because if I have space and I have very good ball carriers like Jamina and then Hussein, and Rafael and Ponta, I would always be happy when you give me those spaces so that they could run through. But once Gold Stars came in the second half, they were pressing high up, giving Heart of Oak limited opportunities to run through their midfield, through to their defense, and they put Barima Ba on the ball a lot more. I think that is the greatest asset Gold Stars have that they haven't really used to perfection. He's that guy who carries the ball and is very much direct, that your old-fashioned wingers. He's always, attacking. And he managed to pull through and get those nice layouts for that is Atakumi to get 2 goals. And then had to bounce back strongly. Unfortunately for Kobe, all the brilliance, he put up yesterday. When I was at the stadium, Fatah Dauda and then some others were sitting in front of me, and he was pointing out the positivity he sees in Kobe. He's a very good goalkeeper because of the kind of saves, the number of times he came out to punch the ball away in the goalkeeper's area, penalty area. But I think that delivery, the sun was high up to in his face. So I'm sure he misjudged that delivery, and then George Paco, brilliant player, very intelligent, came and then found his position to get that goal. I wasn't expecting Gold Stars to come back into the game that swiftly and then to even take the lead. But credit to Samuel Atakumi. He's a player many are not talking about, but I think he's one of the exciting players to watch out for this season. He's already on 6 goals. He's already on 6 goals this season. Meanwhile, we've played 7 games. He's already on 6 goals. He's an excellent forward. He does his work without lots of talk. He knows where to position himself, his hold-up play. He's able to dribble. He's able to move into space. And when the opportunity comes for him to score, he's always present to get the goals. And I think it's quite a good result. Maybe Heart of Oak have a lot to do with regards to their midfield, because in the last 2 games, maybe that game against Brecum Chelsea, Michael watched it and he would be better suited to speak about that. But that was a very good performance. But in the games that we see at the Accra Sports Stadium, I don't know whether it's about them panicking or whatever. They seem to be conceding so much, and I don't think it's good for a team who want to, relive their victories in the Ghana Premier League again. Just hoping that it continues. But it's a good result for Gold Stars. After they fell in the CAF Champions League, they fell to Asante Kotoko. Many started asking questions. Will they be able to survive? But I think the last 3 games, they've really picked up some good points. 7 points out of a possible 9 is great, and not against mean teams. Heart of Lions, Brecum Chelsea in the outstanding game, and then on Sunday against Heart of Folk. So 3 games in a space of 6-7 days, and they've managed to grab 7 points out of 9. I think it's creditable for them. And Tunanai Amankwa, I think he's doing some decent job there as the stand-in coach. He's the assistant coach together with Godwin Ablode, and then the other members of the technical team. I think they are doing some good work, and plaudits to them. They are still within, very good range. They are currently sit on the log with 13 points, just 3 points away from Mediema, who are top with 16 points. So they are not far off from retaining the title. And you heard from the coach, that is the focus this season.
To keep the title. Michael, let me come back to you. Last week Friday, before the weekend's game, you did say that there could be a shake-up at Nations FC. Despite their win over the weekend, they still went ahead with the shake-up. Nations FC parted ways with their head coach, Kasim Mingolo Kanse, and then Johnson Smith, his number 2. Can you give us some more perspective, some more details concerning this move that surprised me when I heard it?
It had been coming, and anyone who had watched their games this season will attest to it. Even though they won yesterday, 11 Wonders were one of the poorest performing teams in the league. Before the Nations game, they hadn't even scored a single goal in the Ghana Premier League. So for them to score 2 against Nations, and Nations to even finish the game with a man down, clearly the results will look like 3 points earned. But when you want to probe into the details of the game, judging by how it unraveled, then you will know that there are issues that remain unsolved regarding this Nations FC team. Is it about coaching? Yes, there is a bit of it that remains an issue. Is it about the playing body? Yes. As I cited to you last Friday, Sadiq Al-Hassan left, Abdul Karim has also left, and these were the core of the Nations FC midfield. Everything they did positively revolved around these 2. Now, in the absence, they are struggling to cope, and the coaches are struggling to find the perfect combinations. And if you monitor how Nations FC operates, there are a lot of voices around the one in charge of running the club. Everybody wants to have an opinion. And when it happens like that, I will not say it becomes a bit cacophonous, but it is more of an issue when you have to listen to a lot of opinions and then decide on which actually works. So the club itself have not really done a lot of good decisions or made a lot of good decisions regarding how they should move. Then the coaching bit. Kasim Okansemengo might have his own issues, but behind the scenes, sorry, let me put it that way. Behind the scenes, there is this seeming friction between him and then his assistant Johnson Smith. There are people who think Johnson Smith is trying to, quote unquote, undermine Kasim Okansemengo and everything that he wants to do, because per people and what they say, they feel Johnson Smith feels he is also good enough to coach. The only thing that restricts him from handling a team full time is a certification. He doesn't have the necessary license, which is the A, to run a Premier League side. And that to me has been his bane. But he also feels that after helping to qualify the team to the Premier League, he deserves much more respect. He needs to get much more hearing, and that isn't happening. Kasim Okansemengo, on the other hand, also feels he needs to do things this way. So there seems to be some kind of discordance. The head coach there and then the assistant coach there. There is not that unity. There is not that synergy. They don't really merge to come together to work to help the cause of the club. And I think the best decision was not just in sacking Kasim Okansemengo, but also doing with Johnson Smith, so that after him, they can plan the way forward. And I think going forward, the club should just look at a situation where even if they want to have one of their own as part of the coaching staff, they should allow the new coach who will come on board to bring his own assistant. So if they can have 2 assistants and the club can pay for it, then good enough. But when the club appoints their own assistant and then the new coach will also come in, then it will breed the same old issues that crippled them in most parts of their tenure. Because I don't think Kasim Okan-Semengo really had the free will to do a lot of things he would have loved to do. Many of us saw his body of work at Bechem. It was beautiful to witness. And we see the kind of players he's brought to Nations FC, especially Emmanuel Ano. Ano has been lighting up the scene ever since he joined them. Last season, he scored some delightful goals. This season, he's a second top scorer in the league. Yesterday, he hit a hat-trick. And so it tells you that he has an eye for talent and also an eye for playing beautiful football. But the issues have to do with the direction of the club, how they operated, and how Kasim Okan-Semengo also saw things. And it never really matched. And that is how come we are seeing what we are seeing. But how do Nations FC overcome this? They are actually a team I tip to really have a very good season, but it's not been like that. How do they right the wrongs and then move on from where the season has gotten to? I think they will need to get the appointment right. I will not be surprised if they appoint an experienced coach in Ghana football. It might be names that we know have already dominated the scene. It might even be a former coach who was rumored to be joining BBN Gold Stars, which did not materialize. But let's see what happens eventually. But I think it was a bad decision that the club took in making sure that, okay, the coach will go, but the assistant must also leave. And then let's try to work things differently and move on. But the win will help them. It will make them address some of the issues in their team. It will bring confidence into the setup, and then it will help them to carry on. But it does not excuse the problems that still are really not working in favor or really hurting Nations FC this season. Their defense and their middle, they will need to sort things out. And maybe this win will help them to draw the necessary confidence and work on their mistakes in the training sessions.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. The full results sheet for those interested: Hearts of Oak 2, Gold Stars 2, Karela 2, Bechem United 0, Mediama 1, All Black 0, Nations FC 3, 11 Wonders 2, Samatex 2, Hohe United 0, Young Apostles drew 1-1 with Brekum Chelsea, and Adriana beat Dreams by goal to nil. Heart of Lions beat Holy Stars by 3 goals to 0. In terms of the Ghana Premier League table, Mediama on 16, they are top. Adriana 15, Heart of Lions 14, Gold Stars, Samatex, Hearts of Oak, all three have 13 points. Karela 12, Young Apostles 11, Asante Kotoko, Hohe United, Vision and Nations all on 8. Kotoko have played 4 league games. They have games in hand to play. Bechem United, Swedru All Blacks on 6 points, Bechem United on 5, Brekum Chelsea on 5, Dreams FC on 4 points, 11 Wonders on 2 points, and Basaka Holy Stars on 2 points as well.
Ghana, say Premier League, Division 1 League, Women's Premier League, it's back again, it's back.
9:42.
It's back again.
Michael, I don't know if you have any concluding thoughts, and then I can take Kelvin's concluding thoughts, and then we will wrap it up here.
Yeah. I think it was a good weekend for Heart of Lions, winning 3-0 and then making sure they remain close to the top of the table. In fact, this season will be very fiercely contested. Diana wants to win the league to start something new. They've just received a massive sponsor, Njigri Bekala, and so they want to go all out and prove to the sponsor that if they continue to invest much more money into the project, it will work well. And Njigri Bekala actually are a gold mining company, a local company as well. So Adriana want to form a beautiful relationship with them and emulate what Mediama did with the likes of Anglo Gold and then Goldfields. Heart of Lions also want to prove a point. Bashir Hayford would love to do it for the 3rd time, winning the league with 3 different clubs. And he will be interested in them building on the success of last season. Gold Stars will love to defend the title. They've seen what it feels to play in Africa. They will love to be there again. Samatex are having their anniversary. They will love to win the league to commemorate that. Hasselhoff themselves, it's been a while since they last won it. They would love to taste it again and then see where they can get to as regards Africa. Then there is the case of Midiama, who also want to win it and then mark the first time they win the league since they have done the new TNA stadium and all that. So every club has a very interesting reason behind their push for the title, not forgetting the prize money that is on offer. So this season will be very keenly contested, and you expect some of these teams within the top six to always give you consistent results week in, week out, and that will make this season very exciting as well.
Interesting. Kelvin, do you have any concluding thoughts before we wrap it up?
Well, I think it will be exciting. The Ghana Premier League getting better and better, and I think yes, we just wait to see what continues to happen. But at the summit of the table, you see, it's great having these performances and the coaches involved. Masoud Didi Dramani, there is Ibrahim Tanko, you have Bashir Hayford, Asante Kotoko will definitely come in with Zito after they play their outstanding games. They should climb up the table. It's quite unfortunate that this man is going off. Samatex with Enin also doing great, and it's quite interesting to see how the performances were. A bit unhappy about the goal scoring, but it looks like gradually we are seeing a lot more goals and conversion of chances in the league. Hopefully it gets better with time, and we love the quality of play. I watched that Heart of Lions Holy Stars game, and as much as Holy Stars lost, they could play well, just like other teams have problems in the attack. They also couldn't make, very good final decisions in the attacking third of the pitch, and it hurts them. We are in for a very lengthy season, 27 more game weeks to witness, and we know that it's going to be much more exciting with what we've seen so far. Now, there wouldn't be many outstanding games because no club is playing in Africa for, postponement of games. So we are going to witness, a very fluid season every week, every day to see which teams progress to the very top.
9:46. That's how I wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. My name is Nathan. Well, let me thank Michael Asaibedu and Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. They are in studio with me. Abigail Senasosu was here. Many shouts to my production team. Imonta Kwame Jakwe Champon, Emmanuel Ayamga, Fly, Naneke Amankwa, and Angela Mensah. Shout out to my DJ Fidelis. And shout outs to you to bring back the loop. Tell everybody for joining us. Before I leave, MTN is giving you free after one extra. You can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk, which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you pay for only the first minute, and you can talk for 60 minutes straight without any interruptions. You can also get 100 MB of data for free after your first call on Saturdays. All of that proudly brought to you by MTN. This December, the AFCON is happening in Morocco. You can get the chance to go and watch it and enjoy. Thanks to Dunia Safari and SportyFM. Use the SportyFM promo code SportyFan25 when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people booking. Get in touch with Dunia Safari on 053-808-7709. Visit their website, duniasafari.com, or send them an email, travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. Don't forget to use the code SportyFan25. And on the 31st of October, all roads lead to the Preset campus in Legon. It's Blue Magic, it's the Odadia Torch and Bonfire Night 2025. And this year they are celebrating 10 years of the 2015 class. It's 10 years since they left school. They are bringing back the energy, memories, and the good vibes once again. Be there and let's keep the blue flame burning. Powered by the Odadia 2015 year group, still flying high, still blazing trails. It's happening on the 31st of October 2025. It's the Odadia Torch and Bonfire Night. Be there. All right, my name is Nathan Kwa. Many thanks for tuning in. This is the This has been the Sporty Breakfast. We've got the news at midday, Sporty Plug at 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4, and of course keep your ears glued because we'll be keeping you updated on the Black Queens, whether or not they get paid their bonus, how all of this ends. We'll be giving you updates. This is the voice of sport. We are Sporty FM, emerging brand of the year. Thank you so much. We'll catch you later. Keep your dials locked on Sporty FM.